Success in your marketing isn't about doing everything at once. I know there's a lot of tactics out there. There are a lot of mediums. There's a lot of new strategies coming out. You're getting DM'd, you're getting emailed, you're seeing ads. It's easy to get overwhelmed with what and knowing what you should do and have to do. And a more simpler way to look at this is it's just about knocking down the first right domino. So the domino effect of marketing is instead of solving all of your problems at once, it's instead focusing on the key priorities that are going to drive the majority of results instead of focusing on many small tasks. It's just knocking down a few key large ones, which create the majority of your results, which help you build momentum, which help you build and move the business forward, and then give you more leverage, revenue, and breathing room to test new opportunities. So, why do this? It's to avoid all of the stress from juggling too many tactics and too many new things without getting the traction from the right direction first. Another reason to practice this is one right move can knock down 10 different problems. So instead of solving each of those individual 10 problems and going from the bottom up, instead you're going from top down with the largest problem first. That's going to provide the biggest impact to your business and growth, and doing that first. But first, you need to identify what that is. And that's what our right framework helps you solve. So if you can imagine it like this, it's looking at a row of dominoes, and instead of pushing them from left to right, where you have one domino knocking over the others, it'd be as if you're pushing them perpendicular over the wrong direction. So they're not colliding with one another. The problems don't solve one another. There's no collaboration or cooperation. It's just one at a time. And this is where you get into these habits of putting out everything feels like a fire. Everything you're doing feels like a fire. Every email that comes in or every task that pops up in Asana feels like a fire. It's ignoring those small fires and letting them burn and focusing on the one, two, or three large fires that are going to solve 80% of your issues because you're going to be getting better numbers in leads or sales. So, tying this all together, growth starts with choosing the first right step. And to do that, it's getting your data right, it's knowing what numbers you're looking to improve, and then identifying which parts of your marketing funnel or sales funnel where the leak is, or where the issue is, or where the biggest issues are. So, you get those benchmarks and then you measure against them week over week. And it's really easy and apparent to know where to focus your time because you have these established standardized baselines of what looks good and what doesn't. And you just focus on what doesn't look good that has a leak, and you fix it. So some additional questions here. How do you identify the first domino in a marketing plan? How do you know what to focus your time and attention on? The first thing to do is establish your measuring and attribution and your KPIs. So look at all starting from the very top of the funnel. How many leads am I driving? What is my cost per lead? How much, what percentage of these people am I getting on the phone? What percentage of these people are qualified? What percentage of these people are moving on to a free assessment? Or if you're doing a free assessment in your first sales call, what percentage of people are completing that? And then what percentage of those assessments are turning into paid clients? And then what's your LTV? What's your lifetime value on that conversion? Once you have all of those metrics in place, you can then segment it by marketing channel. So you can figure out what your lifetime value and cost per client acquisition or cost per patient acquisition is by channel. So this is how much we're spending by Google. This is how much we're spending by Facebook ads. Here's how much we're getting organically. Once you have those figures and you have from the bottom up, from the time you give someone a call or you have your front desk give someone a call, all the way through they're finishing their client experience, you can look at those numbers on a week over week basis. And I guarantee you'll be able to see where you get the 10, 15, 20% fluctuations in the right or wrong direction. And that becomes your number one issue that you want to solve with your marketing and sales efforts. It becomes super clear after that. So once you establish your KPIs and you're measuring all of this on a weekly basis and you're looking at those numbers, the direction that you need to go in to hit and push down that largest domino that's going to solve most of your problems becomes crystal clear. So, why is it such a big issue if you try to do everything at once? It's simply a bandwidth and resource allocation issue. So, if you have a team of marketers, or if you have a marketing team, or if you have a front desk, or if you have an agency, if you have them solving and focusing on two problems instead of one, 50%, let's just say it's an even split, 50% of their time is going to each problem, which means those problems are going to take twice as long to solve. That's only two things. Move it to three, and it triples. You get the math. So, the more priorities you have, and the more issues that you have your team trying to solve, especially if there's not a cohesion or cohesive effort amongst the team trying to solve an issue, your problems get stretched out over a longer period of time. Now, there's a few situations where it makes sense to split and allocate your resources, but this is just important to keep in mind. So, if you aren't focusing on the biggest domino, if you're not focusing on the biggest issue, and you're focusing on a broad range of issues, especially if they're reactive, new things are coming up every day and you're adding that to your to-do list and your team is working on solving those issues, you're decreasing the amount of time and decreasing the amount of resources that you're applying to the largest domino or the largest problem that is preventing you from growing your business. So that's another reason why it's important not to spread yourself too thin, not to spread your marketing resources too thin, to analyze and look at what direction you need to go in and where are the right areas to focus, and aligning that, having that alignment and focus with your team, with yourself, every day, every week, being intentional about your time. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Follow along for some more marketing tips if you want to get more patients, more clients for your health business. Talk to you soon.